Hey everybody, it's Coach Jason. Hope you're doing well. So my last video, I did some breakdowns on running the third part of a race or a fourth part of a race. And what I mean by that is, the third part of that mile race. Like it's the third lap on an outdoor track of a mile where some athletes either fall asleep or they'll tend to slow down and sit back and wait for a kick. Same thing applies to that 3,800 meters of a 2-mile race or a 3K race. And I call it the danger zone, okay? Because you could put yourself into trouble if you're not ready for what might happen. And for the people that are racing that might have a much better kick or much better strength, you don't really know. So I like to be on the other side. I like to be that person that can take advantage of stuff like that, or who can create a gap with an unorthodox move or a gap moving acceleration during the race to throw people off, to throw the competitors off. So take a look at that video. I focused on the mile and the 2-mile for that, and I gave variable workouts for each one, for the less experienced or the younger athletes, all the way progressing toward the more experienced and older athletes. Things that you could do to just make your athletes much more dangerous, okay, and much more ready for everything. And again, before I go to today's, I'm gonna focus on the 5K and the 10K and talk more about the fourth part of the race, which is like the fourth 1,000-meter effort of a 5K, or the fourth 2K component of a 10K, where similar things happen. I want to use the same example I used in the first videos, and I talk to my athletes a lot. And if you look at the Kenyans and the Ethiopians and the Ugandans and the men and the women, they can run all kinds of races. They can do a long sustained drive from a slow beginning, or they can go from the gun all the way to the end. And I tell them, I say, if you watch them, when these folks go, they generally don't come back. And that makes them really, really dangerous. That means they've done all kinds of training and ready for everything. Well, that's the whole point of these videos. I want to give you and your athletes some more options, okay, to put themselves in a position to either respond to kicks or do a long sustained kick, or create a gap so you cannot be out-kicked, or close a gap so you can do a long kick with someone or a short kick with somebody who's ahead of you. These types of things, okay? And they're not always the easiest thing in the world, but I've used these workouts on athletes over the years, and I'm speaking of 20-plus years experience now as a former competitor and a current coach of all high school, college, and post-collegiate levels. I've used these types of workouts on athletes, and it's with a lot of success. So I want to share them with you today. Okay. By the way, if this is your first time to my channel, welcome. If you're a coach or an athlete and you like good content like this, or fully detailed stuff, and stuff that a lot of other videos and coaches don't really talk about, because they're considered secrets or whatever it is, secret sauce, or they just don't talk about. Well, I hope that you subscribe to my channel, because I do fully detailed stuff. I have over 100 videos of fully detailed training programs, workouts, training in bad weather, injury prevention, all different types of stuff. And my goal is to make this one of the best running channels out there. And I hope that you feel that way after watching this as well. All right. So I appreciate your support either way. So please hit that subscribe button, and please hit the notification. If you don't, please, at the very least, hit the thumbs up for this video. It really helps out YouTube kind of share it to its algorithm, and helps the videos grow. So I appreciate it either way. With that, let's get to the 5,000 meters, okay? The 5K, okay? I start with shorter reps here, okay? And I have it broken down. So you think, let's say 500 meters, so you can break it down into 10 by 500 meters, right? I go at 5K pace with a 100-meter jog. That's a workout. But I have it broken down another way here, okay? So the total still being 10 by 500 meters, or 5,000 meters, but I have 6 by 500 meters efforts, okay, at your current 5K pace with a 100-meter jog. And then a 1,000-meter rep, okay, right towards that fourth part of the race, okay, at your goal 5K pace, or approaching your goal 5K pace. And then you take a minute rest after the 1,000-meter effort, or a 90-second rest, okay? And then on the back end, 2 by 500 meters with a 100-meter jog again at your goal 5K pace. So you progress from current to goal, okay? But it's a way of breaking it down so that there's a longer drive, okay, at that component. Later on, I'll go the other way around, and you'll see the progression from longer stuff at that to shorter stuff at that, okay? And you'll see, and I'll explain why. The second one, 5 by 600 meters, okay, with a 200-meter jog recovery at current 5K pace, or progressing from current to goal. and then a 1 by 1200 meter effort at goal 5K pace with a 2-minute recovery, and then 2 by 600 meter efforts on the back end with that same 200 meter jog at your goal 5K pace. Okay, add it up: 3,000, 4,200, and 5,400, just slightly over 5K volume. You should be able to do upwards of 6,000 meters or something like that at 5K pace. That's a good quality workout. Some folks that are more fit, more experienced, can do more volume. But if you can get up to 6 kilometers worth of stuff at 5K pace, that's a good training session. Okay, last one: 3 by 800 meter efforts. Okay, you're progressing from shorter reps to the longer reps at goal 5K pace, or current to goal 5K pace, and that's one of the ultimate goals. Okay, so 3 by 800 meter efforts at current 5K pace. Okay, 2-minute recovery, and then you run a mile at goal 5K pace, or close to goal 5K pace. Okay, with a 2-minute recovery, and then another 800 meter effort on the back end at goal 5K pace. Okay, again, it's a somewhat challenging session. Okay, but it gives you an opportunity to kind of progress from this to that if you want to, and you could decide which of your athletes might need this versus might need that. So depends on kind of their experience, their fitness level, their ability level, and so on. This gives you options. Okay, but again, put them in a position to do a long sustained move for that fourth component of a race, which can create gaps, create space between them and the folks that they were running with. And I've seen it happen. I've used this on my high school athletes and college athletes and post-college athletes, where you'll go after the 2 mile or after a mile and a half, and you'll just do this hard mile. People are like, no, don't go. He's going to come back, or she's going to come back, and they don't come back because you made that move. Okay, and most notorious, if you look at John Ngugi, Ngugi from Kenya, look at his Olympic 5K. He ran a 4-minute mile or 4:01 mile in the middle of the 5K. People were like, this guy's crazy. He's coming back. He did not come back. He won the Olympic gold medal with that move. Okay, it's one of the most ridiculous moves I've ever seen. It was ballsy. It was crazy, but he's also a 5-time world cross-country champion. So that was the most impressive thing I've ever seen. But that essentially is that. Okay, now progressing from the shorter reps on the front and back to the longer reps. Okay, now with something in the middle that's a little bit different. Okay, so now we do 3 by 1,000 meters. Okay, with a 2-minute recovery at current 5K pace. Okay, and then we're going to do 2 by 500 meters. Cut that rep in half with a 300 meter jog at 3K pace. So it gets a little faster, and then back up to one more 1,000 meter effort at goal 5K pace. Okay, so the shorter reps are going to be at 3K pace now. Okay, which again can create a different scenario. Can create creating a gap. At 3K, you make a hard move for 400 meters or 500 or 600 meters and create a gap, and then you hold on, and you can take sting out of some of the kickers, okay, or catch up to somebody who's a little bit ahead of you. These types of things create opportunities for that, especially if you practice them in training. Okay, next one, longer, 3 by 1,200 meters at that current 5K pace. Okay, 2 minutes to 2.5 minute recoveries. Okay, but if you can do it in a 2-minute recovery, that's good. And then 3 by 400 meter efforts, okay, with a 1-minute recovery from 3K down to mile pace, okay. So the reps a little bit shorter. And then on the back end, 1 by 1,200 meter effort again at goal 5K pace. And if you add it up, 4,800, 1,200, 6,000 meters worth of running, okay. Next one, 3 by 1,200 meters again at current 5K pace, or progression from current to goal, 2 to 2.5 minute recovery. And then 2 by 600 meter efforts, okay, between 3K and mile pace, okay, more so a 3K pace, and with a 200 meter jog after each one, okay, and a 1,200 meter effort on the back end at goal 5K pace, and the same thing adds up to 6,000 meters, 6K. And the last one, 2 by 1,600 meter effort, 2 times a mile, with a 3-minute recovery at your current to goal 5K pace, and then in the middle you break down that mile. 4 by 400 meter efforts, okay, at 3K down to mile pace with a 1-minute recovery, and then on the back end you try another 1,600 meter effort at goal 5K pace. Yes, this is 4 miles worth of effort, okay, instead of 6,000 meters, so it's 6,400 meters. But again, at some point your more fit and more experienced athlete should be able to do that. It's something similar to doing 3 times a mile and then some 400s on the back end for turnover. This is just breaking it down a little bit differently. Okay, but this teaches you how to either accelerate for a certain period of time or a shorter period of time, and during the second half of a race, or practice a sustained kick from 1,000 meter down to, from a mile out, or 1,000 meters to a mile out. So it allows you to practice different things. Okay, and as you get fitter anyway, you need to be doing longer reps at goal pace anyway, so that you can adapt to the pace. Okay, that's obviously progression from 500-meter efforts down to upwards to mile reps at pace, but that's over time. Okay, now that's 5K. Let's go to 10K. Okay, these are some meaty workouts too. 6 by 800-meter efforts at 10K pace. Okay, current 10K pace with a 90-second recovery. Okay, and then 1 by 1.5 mile. Okay, 2,400 meters. Okay, at goal 10K pace, and then on the back end, 3 by 800-meter efforts at goal 10K pace. Okay, add it up: 2,400, 7,200, 9,600 meters, 6 miles, a little bit under 10K. Okay, next one: 6 by 800-meter efforts. Okay, same 90-second recovery at current 10K pace, or progression from current to goal 10K pace, and then a 2-mile effort. Okay, basically mile 4 and mile 5 of the 10K at goal 10K pace, and then 2 by 800-meter efforts on the back end at goal 10K pace. Okay, this allows you to kind of break open a race, especially if one is started not as fast and you progress, you negative split. But this also gives you an opportunity to stay focused in that second part of the race, where some people tend to fall asleep and just sit back and wait for, like I said, wait for people to kick. This gives you an opportunity to not put yourself in a position to be outkicked. Okay. Next one: 5 by 1,000-meter efforts at 10K pace. Okay, current to goal progression, 2-minute recovery. Okay, and then 1 by 3,000-meter effort at goal 10K pace. Okay, and then on the back end, 2 by 1,000-meter efforts. Okay, take a 3-minute recovery after the 3,000-meter effort, and then 2 more 1,000-meter efforts on the back end with a 2-minute recovery at goal 10K pace. Okay, add it up: 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10,000 meters. Okay, now let's go to the other end now, where the reps on the corners are a little bit longer and the stuff in the middle is a little bit shorter. It'll be at 5K pace down to 3K pace. Okay, so 4 by 1,200-meter efforts at current to goal 10K pace, 2-minute recovery. And then we'll do 4 by 600-meter efforts at 5K pace with a 200-meter jog. Okay, and then on the back end, 2 by 1,200-meter efforts at goal 10K pace, the same 2-minute recovery. Okay, next one: 3 by 1,600-meter efforts, or 3 by a mile. Okay, at 230 recovery. Okay, progression from current to goal 10K. And then 4 by 800-meter efforts at goal 10K pace. Okay, I'm sorry, 5K pace. Excuse me, 5K pace with a 2-minute recovery, and then another mile rep on the back end, or 1,600-meter effort on the back end at goal 10K pace. Add it up: 6 miles. Okay, 3 by 2K at 10K pace. Okay, progression from current to goal. Okay, with a 3-minute recovery, and then 4 by 500-meter efforts with a 100-meter jog. Okay, at 5K pace, and then on the back end, 1 more 2K rep. Excuse me, at goal 10K pace. Okay, and the last one: 2 by 2,400 meters, or 1.5 miles. Okay, same thing as that. At one of them at current 10K pace, the other one at goal 10K pace. Okay, with a 3-minute recovery, and then 6 by 400-meter efforts with a 1-minute recovery at 5K pace. Okay, and then you go back to 1 more effort at 2,400 meters, or 1.5 miles at goal 10K pace. So now you have stuff that is longer on the front and back ends, so you know what it feels like to run your goal 10K pace in the beginning. You know what it feels like to run at the end. Okay, put yourself in position to make moves in the second half of the race, like I said, with the 5K, and do a prolonged kick towards the end if you need to. Okay, these things give you variety. All right, it puts you in a position to address pace changes. You never really know what you're going to come up against in a 5K or a 10K race, and the same thing applies to longer races, half marathon, marathon, or mile, 2 mile on the back end, 3K, 800 meters. But the better prepared you are, the more you do a multi-tiered training system or multi-pace training system, the better your position for long-term success. Okay, And these types of workouts will help you accomplish these goals. So I hope you found this helpful. Please leave some comments and or feedback in the comments down below. I learn from you folks as much as you learn from me. If you think one of these would be helpful, if you've used something similar to this, put them in the comments. I welcome dialogue. I respond to all comments as well. I want to continue growing this channel and make it into one of the better running channels. And my goal is to help as many people in the running community as possible. So if you know coaches or athletes that would benefit from this stuff, share it with them. Okay? And again, please hit that thumbs up. Either way, it's really, really helpful. And if you find this stuff and you want to learn more, take a look in the description down below. I'll put a bunch of videos on there that are similar to this. But I'll also put some other stuff as well that's going to be highly, highly valuable. So, and if you don't want to miss the stuff that I'm going to be putting out moving forward, just hit that notification next to it, and you won't miss them. So, be safe out there, especially right now in uncertain times. You have two choices. You can be prepared and fit, or not prepared and not fit. So I would at the very least like to give folks options in order to stay fit and embrace this time where there's uncertainty and there's not races, because once the races do happen, you're either going to be ready for them or not ready, or other people in the same boat. So I'd rather you be ready. Okay. So with that, be safe, look out for each other. Talk to you soon.